In fact, Paul, please let us know if you'd be willing to jump on the program and give us an overview of that. And then going south, comments. There are a couple of bad or counterproductive ways of thinking on the green left side that I'd like to comment upon after listening to this week's show. One of them is the optimistic outburst during a time of immense ecological destruction that those development projects really brought us together as activists and as a community. This is the same faulty thinking that brought bliss to the anti-war crowd as Iraq was being destroyed militarily. We need to do better than to celebrate genocide or celebrate devastating abrupt climate change and loss of biodiversity. I don't really know what he's talking about there, but let me see if reading on. The other flawed way of thinking is to say essentially what doctors shared, that abrupt civilizational collapse is just making me sad, so I'll just forget about that whole possibility. This way of thinking is linked to the vastly optimistic, and in my opinion, delusional thought that cities should provide food distribution and other essential services even after a full societal collapse. To me, even suggesting such things is indicative of a mind that hasn't reflected on what a collapse of society and or agriculture even means on the most basic level. I think what he's basically saying there is when we have civilizational collapse, there ain't going to be no food and food distributed. There will just be local pockets of food, and so cities will basically collapse.
Well, what I'm suggesting is that we're going to have a peaceful transition to the new civilization type. That's my vision, that it's not going to be a full collapse of civilization.
Right.
Right. The whole key to this vision is creating world peace. Without peace, there's not going to be a way that we will survive. The planet might survive, which is why I think that a better name for this social club is the end of history than the end of the world, because the end of the world implies that all life will be destroyed. The bacteria might certainly survive along with the cockroaches. So what we're trying to do is in history, move us out of male domination and male visionary thinking that has led to this crisis. Now, I know I've said this a number of times about this social club, but it doesn't get really changed. You still go the end of the world. The world, the planet has gone through 6 mass extinctions, and life is still here. It can take a lot, and it's been through some devastating extinctions.
Go ahead, Jason.
During those extinctions, they didn't have 400 plus nuclear power plants on planet Earth that were going to melt down and fucking destroy the atmosphere, as well as they didn't pollute the shit out of everything to the point where it was like, a cleanup fucking nightmare. Like, if we are going to do anything, we need the people in civilization to start working on restoration programs.
Yeah, so I think it's the end of history is what we're after. We're looking for another narrative, and from that narrative inspires a different administration of this planet. So that's what I'm going for.
And I apologize for interrupting, but I do need to sign off because I've got a conference call I'm jumping on. So I'm just going to mute out and let y'all continue as long as you want. And then I'll just end the broadcast.
I'm ready. I have to go too. So I'm going to say goodbye.
Yeah. So
all right. Well,
let's conclude. And yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, great seeing you all, and thank you all for watching. Please continue with the comments. As you can see, we take them very seriously. We appreciate them, and feel free to invite yourself in to the social club at the end of the world. We'd love to have you.
There you go. See, you can't change it. You can't change it. It's all, and you talk about.
He likes it. It has a nice ring to it.
Yeah, no, it's power. It's language. You've already named it. There's no changing it. That's how patriarchy works. So, Jamin, you're really one of them. In disguise. I'll see
In disguise. All right.
God, you're very much one. Bye.
Well, we may not come up with any significant ideas to save the world, but at least we can bitch and moan at each other the entire fucking time and have a good time doing it, I guess.
Yeah, I would just, my final thought is, the end of the world is what abrupt climate change is essentially going to bring about. It also does imply the end of history too. So I will concede that. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week.
All right. Well, good seeing you, Dan.
Yeah.
Have a good day.